Welcome to Together We Mend. This is the first episode, so I will just tell you a little bit about my story and why I started this channel. Together We Mend, I would like to be a place that I wanted to have after we lost our son Christian. A place where nothing is taboo, that we can talk about anything relating to grief. Nothing is strange. We are not strange because of what we're feeling through grief. Nothing is, we all have our own journey, and every emotion, every feeling, every pain, everything is valid. Whatever you might feel, it is absolutely valid. So don't feel that you are going through something that no one else has. You probably will feel like that. I did. I know I did. I felt no one has ever felt like this before. Because we become quite irrational, especially in the early days, I feel. So the reason why I started this is, of course, because I lost my son Christian. This is 4.5 years ago now. He passed away in a road accident. And he was driving, he was alone in the car, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I feel like that's unnecessary. As it might be triggering also. But it was on my birthday in January, 19th of January, and Christian was a football player and he was going to support the team he was just leaving, so he was not even going to be playing. And as I had been working that day, I said to Christian that go ahead, go there, and we celebrate at the weekend. We then came home from work. Christian was going to be late, so we headed to bed. He had organized a birthday cake, which we had without him. Then we went to bed and I fell asleep. And sometime I woke up and I saw this sign, police, in my head. It was just a clear sign, police. And I woke up in a startle and just said, is Christian okay? Where is Christian? Is he home? So we tried to ring him and there was no answer. 10 minutes later there was a knock on the door and it was the police, 2 police officers, 2 ladies, and they said that Christian had been in a life-threatening car accident. And I know many of you will relate to this. In an instant my world collapsed and I just collapsed on the steps. I couldn't stand up. I felt like my whole inside, my whole mind, my mind tried to scramble for evidence that this was not true. Try to turn back time. And of course, we all know that that's not possible because we have all felt like we wanted to turn back time. And then because I was in so much shock, I went with the police officers, and my husband and my younger son went by themselves because they couldn't take all 3 of us. And sometime along this journey we had the news that Christian hadn't made it. So they took me home. My husband and my son had to return home. And to then just be left with that your life has changed. Everything has changed in an instant. I remember sitting up all night, not being able to rationalize a single thought, just wanting the morning to come and to think maybe that in the morning maybe things would be different. And maybe that then in the morning I could ring my parents, but I know I would devastate them too. So what happened then is, of course, what unraveled for all of us, a devastation of having lost a loved one. So that's what I want to do with this channel. I want us to connect. I want us to be able to share. And I want, not only for myself, I want us to build a community that we can connect and we can feel like no matter how tragic a loss has been, maybe, just maybe, there might be a little bit of hope somewhere along the line. And if you're in the early days, you can't take that in. At least I couldn't take that in. I just thought, or the mindfulness or the spirituality, I just thought that is absolutely rubbish. I felt in the beginning. But I have come back to that and have connected with myself, and I have found hope. I have found happiness, but I also have days when I'm desperately sad. I feel like everything feels hopeless. But along this journey, I hope that we can help each other, and that this can be a place where we can find our journey. We can find maybe a possibility to find our future. So I will try to invite some people to talk about grief, and to talk about their journeys. Maybe some specialists that might be able to tell us a little bit more about grief. We all have our own journey. They all look different. So wherever you are in your journey, you are not alone, but also whatever you're feeling is not strange. So with that, I just wish you a beautiful day, and I'm looking forward to connecting with many of you in the future. Thank you for listening.